welcome to another Girl Talk Algarve from the sunny Algarve, and look at what a beautiful day this is. And you know, we have got coffee today. There's no vodka in these cups. Or wine, Leslie, is there? No.
We are being good this afternoon. It is coffee.
But there might be a reason for that, mightn't there?
No, I wasn't hungover today. I know it's Sunday, but I was okay. I wasn't hungover today. But we are in a beautiful hotel in Villamora called the Crown Plaza. It's beautiful. The sun's just about to go down, so we had a lovely lunch here this afternoon, and it's just by the beach. So the beach is just there, and it's a really stunning.
I'd like to say we had salad, but we didn't.
No, just had a pile of chips. Really. Oh wow. Anyway,
I did have a salad once.
Did you?
Yeah, it didn't go on with
and
me.
me once. I did. I can't remember when.
Anyway, we are going to talk about today. I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, because it's everyone's talking about Matt Hancock.
Oh, no, you couldn't even say his name.
No,
then,
I like Matt Hancock. I like Matt Hancock. I must be the only person in the world that thinks he's. Oh, bless him. She doesn't.
Bless him.
She hates me. She's going to stab me now, aren't you?
Oh my gosh. Right, okay, so
why don't you like
let's
him?
talk
Oh,
about
look,
it.
he's doing all right.
Oh God.
He's been really picked on and bullied.
Seriously, Dawn. So, I'm massive fan of I'm a Celebrity.
Yeah.
I hate missing an episode. If I'm out, I've got the grumps because I want to get home and watch I'm a Celebrity. And I've loved it. I've loved it every year. I mainly watch it because Ant and Dec are fantastic.
Oh, they're so funny.
Oh, they're
We
just
could do that.
brilliant.
We could be
the-
Ant and Dec.
So what, we could go out and host I'm a Celebrity next year?
We could be like Ant and Dec's grannies, couldn't we? Yeah. Anyway, go on.
But it's what a controversial one this is. But it's had its highest viewings ever.
Well, I'm not surprised. And all the Facebook and Instagram and all the publicity that's coming up on the reels you watch about Matt Hancock and the headlines, it's quite incredible, really.
It is incredible. I mean, I personally don't think he should have gone in. I absolutely do
So
not think he
why?
should have gone
Because he's still a serving MP.
in. Because he's still a serving MP. And I just think what's happened, and this was obvious this was going to happen, that the public are voting him to do every single trial.
Oh, they will, won't they? Yeah.
And that's not fair in my opinion, because there's people like Mike Tyndall in there and there's others that want to do the trials, but he's being voted to do them every time. So in my mind that's not fair, because it's not giving them a chance to enjoy the experience that they wanted. I watched it the other night, was it last night, night before, and Matt Hancock was saying that he was hoping for forgiveness.
I saw that, yeah.
He was hoping for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Now, I personally was not affected by COVID, by the pandemic. So I didn't have somebody that I needed to go and see in a care home. I didn't have anybody that was dying or in hospital. I didn't really break the rules. I mean, I was here in Portugal, so it didn't really affect me.
No.
But my son-in-law, Simon, and his sister, Anna, their mum was in a care home, and they couldn't go and see their mother in the care home. If they did, they had to talk through glass. And then she was rushed into hospital very, very seriously poorly, and they were not allowed in the hospital to see her. And at one point they said she's probably end of life, and they were still not allowed to go in and see.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay for us watching I'm a Celebrity and us going, us laughing at Matt Hancock doing his trials, and yes, him doing well and him getting 11 stars or whatever he's doing. But there are people that have been seriously affected by the decisions that he made, and then him not sticking to those rules that he enforced on everybody else.
I don't have a problem with him making the decisions he made and making it difficult for people. Oh, it sounds awful. Yes, they did make it difficult for people to go to visit camp, but
wrong decision.
It was, in hindsight, which is a marvellous thing, you know. Matt Hancock was acting on medical advice. He's not a doctor, but they were doing what they thought was best at the time. The thing that they shouldn't have done, obviously, is flouted the rules themselves, because there can't be one rule for them and one rule for everyone else.
That's the problem. You're right, and I don't think any of us are saying that maybe the decisions they made, the rules that they made, were wrong, because we've never experienced anything like
they did what they thought was right at the time.
But then, as everything's been coming out, and they've been caught partying, and he was caught, you know, having a bit of a fling in a cupboard or in a room. Yeah.
Oh, did they not think that there were cameras everywhere? Silly boy.
So I like I said before, it didn't affect me. So his actions did not affect me, but they will have affected a lot of people. Because
But-
when Boy George,
Oh, yeah.
when he saw him arrive, Boy George was very affected by seeing Matt Hancock, because
Was he?
his mum was rushed into hospital, and he said on I'm a Celebrity, if my mother had died, I would be walking out of this jungle right now, because he could not face Matt Hancock because he wasn't allowed to go in and see his mum. So if
But
his
I
mum had
don't,
died,
see, I don't think that's fair. Matt Hancock did not make those rules on his own. He did what he thought was right at the time. We've all made decisions, we've all done things, and
Yeah.
looking back you think, oh blimey, that was overkill, or it wasn't enough, it
Yeah.
was whatever. I don't think you can crucify
no,
someone for that.
but again, I don't think it was because of those rules.
It was the
I
rule
think
breaking,
It was the
yeah,
fact that
the rule breaking,
he
yeah.
broke the rules. So what was the point of those rules?
Yeah.
If he broke
But
them?
you know, I'm hands up myself here. I'm probably going to incriminate myself, but I broke COVID rules.
Yeah, I think most people did. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think to any huge extent, and not to endanger anyone, but you know, yeah, I did a bit. I mean, and whatever we think about COVID or jabs, we're not going to talk about that, because
No.
that's, you know, that's your
That's
personal
another
thing.
show.
Yeah. But I feel like now he's trying now. Obviously he's only doing this for the money,
and for forgiveness, you
Well,
said the other night.
yeah, forgiveness is, I would imagine, he's doing it for the money. And do you know what? I take my hat off to him for trying to put right some of the wrongs. He's
Yeah.
trying to make a future fit. He's trying to make sure he's got enough money, relaunch himself
Yeah.
as he's being a responsible parent, I think, by trying to make sure he's got enough money to support his kids and his wife and pay his bills. And this is one way of doing it.
Of course it is. Yeah, of
and
course.
the only thing, I don't think he should still be an MP. I think he should
No.
have resigned. But if he'd have resigned, so he's between a rock and a hard place. If he'd have resigned, he would have
Yeah.
kicked off a by-election, and he doesn't obviously want to do that.
Yeah.
So he's kept going. He will be asked to step down, and he probably will.
Well, I would have thought so.
They will,
I
they'll let
think
it.
he has,
He's had the
hasn't he?
whip taken away
Yeah,
from him.
yeah.
People are creating about it, but he's seen an opportunity. He knows he's not going to retain his seat. He's seen an opportunity to make some money, further his own career, look after his kids in the long run.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you know, I take my hat off to anyone who looks after the kids and puts their children first.
And I agree. And you know what? Funny enough, I was watching it last night, and I just caught a glimpse of like he was chosen again to do.
Yeah, well, he will
trial
be, won't
again.
he?
And he laughed and he said, "Well, of course I am." And actually, there was an endearing moment, and I looked at him and I thought,
You thought, you
yes,
poor
he is
bugger.
he is a human being. But I think the trouble is, we are just talking about Matt Hancock in I'm a Celebrity. And that's I don't mean you and I,
No,
but
no.
I mean the general
Well,
public.
we were talking about
Or-
the other day about Mike Tyndall going in. I'm so surprised
That he
he's
went
gone
in.
in.
Yeah.
Mike Tyndall. I mean, you know, the Queen was like his wife's grandma.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
King Charles is his wife's uncle.
Yeah.
And
And
I
he's
think
in.
that's
I was
bizarre.
shocked. But my favourite is Owen from Hollyoaks.
Oh, you fancy anything?
I mean, yes, I fancy him. I mean, who wouldn't, right? But he's the sweetest, thickest.
He's
young
very
lad,
Joey
isn't
Essex,
he?
isn't
I mean,
he?
yes, he's very
Yeah,
Joey.
very.
Did you see the bit when Mike Tyndall was talking about when he met his wife in Australia, and Zara, and he said, "Oh, is your wife? Is she Australian?" You know, I mean, God bless him. And then they when the presenter from Place in the Sun, they said, "Oh, and she's from Place in the Sun," and he went, "Oh, is she whereabouts then?" So I love how stupid he is, you know. So we've got Owen, who's incredibly stupid. We've got Chris Moyles, who's clearly going to cause a little bit of
He's not a happy
issues
bunny,
with
is
Matt
he?
Hancock,
No.
along with Boy George, and Charlene, who's the reporter, isn't she, and journalist? She's kind of asking all the right questions, asking Matt Hancock the question. So I think it's brilliant. I think it makes brilliant TV. But I just feel for the other ones that are in there,
Yeah.
that he's getting all the exposure. I think, and they're not, you know. And I think the trouble is the others have gone in there because they want to do the trials and they want to.
Well, you
get
know,
stuck
let's
in.
face it, they're being paid an awful lot of money to go in there.
Yeah, they are. Why am I sympathising?
So all of them are being paid a hell of a lot of money,
true.
and
True.
it makes very, very good TV. And it's a huge amount to advertise in the slots there. The advertising spaces there are going incredible amounts of money because it's easy, silly TV, isn't it?
It is.
It's like Love Island
and I love
stuff.
it, and I love Love Island, and I love all of these reality trash programs. But I'm a Celebrity is my favourite.
I like the human interaction. I'm very into social history and political history. I know you think that's really boring. My daughter's taken the mickey out of me about a book that I've been reading, all about the social and political history of Scotland. I love it, and all the things they're talking about. And
what, you love that kind of thing? Yeah?
So fascinating. Yeah, I know.
So fascinating.
Yeah, it's not quite a Mills and Boone,
No,
but
not
yeah.
really, is it? But each to their own.
But that's it. And I like the dynamics. I do like some of these programs because of watching the dynamics between people. And you want to throttle some. And we've had some friends over the years, some family friends that have been in there. Joe Pasquale, our children all went to the same school. Yeah.
And he was great in it.
He just thought it was hilarious, and we were watching it just for Joe. And every night he was looking around. I think he just looked after the animals. He took himself off and just took the piss out of everyone else because he thought it was hilarious.
Because I think if I was in
we should be in it. We should ask them. We'll do it for free.
Yeah, but we could do one over here. Could we set up a?
And I'm a celebrity.
I'm a celebrity. Get me
out of Villamora.
Not that we want to go anywhere. I just love it, and I think it makes great TV. And I think the eating trials are.
Oh my God, no! That would be my worst nightmare.
And they got to eat a bit of cock.
Kangaroo Willy.
Kangaroo Willy.
No.
Oh, and they. What was the one I was watching the other night? Where they were eating a buffalo's anus.
No.
And then they a camel's vagina.
No, that would be I wouldn't mind the creepy crawlies. I don't mind the spiders, the bugs, or anything like that.
It's just eating foo-foos and cock that you just don't want to do.
Well, generally, obviously.
Yes, in general.
Generally, but let's not go there. Oh, Leslie.
Again, that's another show, isn't it?
But to be doing any of that nasty food stuff.
Yeah. Do you know what I was watching? Like one of the first trials when Chris Moyles and Boy George were led down, and it was filling up with water. I don't know whether you saw that one. And the two girls were having to turn this tap, and then the stars were dropping. And they got to a point where, like, it was just their nose was sticking out above the water. I'd have panicked. Anything to do with water?
A bit dodgy, isn't it?
I can't.
I don't like enclosed spaces. No.
Basically, we couldn't do it then because it'd be rubbish.
I wouldn't do the food ones. I'd say no, I'm not doing that. I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here. Because I am.
And what about the heights?
We are international superstars.
Of course we are.
That's the other thing. See, I don't like heights.
The heights. So really, we couldn't do any of that.
I'm a bit rubbish, really.
I'm all right at. I'm all right at a lot of the physical activities. I would be fine.
See, I'm rubbish at them as
physical
well.
activities, but as long as they didn't involve, I don't know. Yeah, maybe the heights stuff.
I wouldn't want to do heights. I wouldn't want to do eating things. I wouldn't want to do anything particularly physical. I just can't. So really, for me, it's just creepy crawlies.
Yeah, you'd have to just be dealing with the creepy crawlies then.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to really do an awful lot in there.
I do the cooking. I do the cooking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I do the one stuck with changing.
Do you know what I can
emptying the what do they call it?
The dunny. Yeah, I'd cook for the camp because my kids will tell you I can make anything. They look in the fridge.
Out of nothing.
Yeah, they will look in the fridge and they go, oh, well, let's put it on that. And then 5 minutes later, I can produce
this marvellous dish.
Well, I don't know about that, but enough to feed them.
Of course, enough to feed them.
Nobody died.
No, that's the main thing. Nobody died. Yeah. So here we are in the beautiful Algarve, like we've just said,
at the Crown Plaza
Hotel. We'll give them a plug because. They are fantastic.
No one seems to have minded that we've come along. And I'm going to nip in later, I think tomorrow, maybe even, and
have a swim.
That is beautiful out there.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful. When the other job that I do, as you know, I work for Concierge UK with the golf holidays, and we had an event booked here actually, an evening with Ray Parlour, the footballer legend, the Romford Penny they call him. And it was an evening with a dinner, but it was right in the middle of
COVID, wasn't it?
And we had to cancel it, and that was going to take place here in this beautiful hotel. So I'm hoping to.
It is lovely. It's so peaceful and quiet, isn't it?
Yeah, all the tourists have gone.
Oh, this is my favourite time of year.
Me too. Favourite time of year.
Is lovely.
So the sun's about to go down. We're going to go inside because we're going to film another one.
And we might have a glass of wine.
Yeah, I think so. Or cocktail or something.
Anyway, it's lovely to talk to you all, and I hope you've enjoyed our witterings and rubbish about I'm a Celebrity.
And we know that you're going to have your opinions on I'm a Celebrity.
So if you've got anything to say about I'm a Celeb, put it in our comments box and we'll try and answer you. But I am team Matt Hancock.
And I'm not.
So she's not. So like us and subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'm supposed to say that all the time. Like us and subscribe, and then you get to hear our drivel on a regular basis. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Great to talk to you.